Hello, in this video I will show you how to best manage the page Hazmat within USNA website. To get to the page, people will be tempted to type it into Google. As you see, it doesn't work. The best way to get to it is just on the browser type in usna.edu Hazmat, and it just takes you straight to the website. To be able to manage something, you need to understand what is expected to do. So this page over here is the index page of the Hazmat. This is where people just arrive. And if you will, it has 4 parts. So here is part 1, which it takes you to all of the S files. This part over here is what it has the building and then associated shops within each building. And this links to, I'm just going to do one, to the index file that needs to be printed and placed on the front page of the local shop printed SDS binder. And all of these chemicals are the ones that are allowed for that particular shop to have. So this one over here, for example, they are allowed to have bleach, so they need to have that SDS file printed and in that folder to be able to get that particular SDS. So they got to go here to this section over here, which is all of SDSs, and they need to find bleach over here. So this is also alphabetically organized, and there is bleach. They just click, and at that point on, this is the SDS. So they got to print it, and once they print it, they just got to go into their, well, and here I just downloaded it, and I'm trying to open it. I don't have the program, so I'm not gonna spend time. Everybody knows how to print, so moving along. Now, so once again, to make it clear, this page over here, I'm gonna go to the top. This is the one that contains all the SDS files, and here is where people is expected to come in and centralize, get any SDS that they might need. And what SDS they need, they just gotta click in their particular shop to be able to get the index page that tells them what chemicals they need to, what SDSs they need to print. And finally, this section over here, it will take them to this page to be able to print any of these required documents that are needed to be in anybody's SDS folder. So to manage on the website, first you need to do it through one of the computers in Enable Academy. And you just gotta type in your credentials in here on this website, which is called cascade.usna.edu. And it's gonna take you to this page over here. So you're gonna fill in this, you're gonna click in this and go to site. And this is how it's gonna appear. And then in here, you're just gonna type in the word Hazmat, so. And it so is that in that way you don't have to go all the way to the bottom, but you just simply gravitate to the top, the Hazmat, and then you just click on Hazmat. And this is going to be the next page that appears. So these are the files and subfolders for the website. Here we only care about the files folder, the index file, and the SDS file page. Let's take a look at the index file. And this is the file that controls the index page, and you now will have the access to edit and obviously publish those editions. Now if I go back, and now this time I go click on this one, it just takes me to the page where you can edit or publish any of the SDS. This is the one that contains, as of right now, 450 SDS links for the 450 SDS files for people to print. Now I'm gonna go back, and this time I'm gonna select the files folder, and inside there, well, we have is really 4 folders, but we only care about the documents folder. So we're gonna go inside there, and inside this document, inside this folder, okay, so all of these 4 things we care about. Okay, so this, starting with this file over here, this is one of the forms that needs to be printed and placed on the SDS folders on every shop. If I go back, now I want to take a look at the second one. This is the second form that needs to be printed and located. Now, we're going to go inside of this folder, and this is the one that contains all the 450 current SDS files as of the making of this video. If I go back now, if I want to go into shop, this is what contains the particular shop PDF printable indexes. Here is a summary of the file structure. So inside of the documents folder, there are 4 items, 2 of them being the forms in a PDF, and there is a folder SDS-file that number it that contains all the SDS 450 right now as PDFs, and there is another folder called shops which contains the PDF shops index, and this is how they are linked. Here, this is a screenshot of the index page, and when anybody clicks on any of these particular links over here, it just brings up the associated PDF file, index file for the particular shop. And then whenever somebody clicks over here, well, it actually takes you to a page where in that page, when they click, it takes them to individual files from this folder, and then whenever they click on this page, it takes them to a page which only is linked to 2 documents, and here are the actual physical files. So all of these are PDF files. This is where all the PDF files are populated, and from here is that the website goes and finds them to be able to deliver them to the users. To keep the website organized, it's best to do it through Excel. So this file that you're looking at is very important. If you notice the name of the product, so let's look at acetone. It would be an easy chemical, everybody knows about it. And this is the name of the manufacturer. Now, this over here is a local generated number that we just assigned. We just call it SDS-15. But this is how the file, when it's downloaded from the website, the SDS file is named locally, and I will show you what I mean by that. So all of these are SDS files, and obviously when it comes from the website, it has a weird name, or it's usually numbers and letters, but in here we just simply rename it, and now it is easy to cross-reference. So that was SDS-15. So when I open this one, it better be acetone, because that's what the Excel is saying that it is, and it truly, in fact, it is. So SDS-15 is acetone, and now I'm just gonna highlight that whole row, because what I want to show is now is the shops. So that chemical is very popular, which every shop uses it. Don't pay attention to this double X. It doesn't really have any meaning. It's just somebody fingered it twice, and that's it. So this means that this chemical is carried by these shops. And by the way, this over here, what you're looking at, it is the index of the paint shop, a SDS binder. This is the index for the carpenter shop. This is the index. The only difference is that in here is not organized alphabetically. So really, if we want to organize for the carpenter shop, we just simply have to arrange it Z. Now notice that there is a Z at the beginning of it. It's not that it's building C66. It's building 66 carpenter shop, but I put the C on purpose of it in front of it, so that whenever I do the arrange in the descending order from Z to A, it just simply, this line, it doesn't drop down, so it just stays here to the top. And then all of these chemicals, that means that they belong to the carpenter shop, and I just keep scrolling down, and I chose a bath shop. Okay, there. Some of them are red, doesn't matter, that's the red, doesn't mean anything. At this point on, so let's see, I'm just gonna highlight over here, and this is the carpenter shop. So from here, what did I do? From here and up, that means that all of these chemicals, all of these, they should be in the carpenter shop. And literally, this is how, if I were to copy this and paste it somewhere else, this becomes the index file for the carpenter shop. The only thing that I got to be careful is that once I copy it somewhere else to a new sheet, that I need to make sure that it is organized alphabetically. Currently, I have everything organized alphabetically in by this column. Notice that this 1 1 is over here, and I do that on purpose. The 11 is so that whenever I organize alphabetically, it 1 1 stays on the top, which is the name of this column, and then all of these ones just gravitate to the bottom alphabetically, of course. But let's create a Careshet, the index for the Careshet SDS binder. So here I'm just gonna do a Z through A, the opposite, because that one is the X's to the top, and obviously the C to be all the way at the top. And I just scroll down until the end of the file, and here it seems like I just found it. Highlight here a little bit, and I just highlight just so that it's easy for me to keep track of where the chemicals end for the Careshet. And then over here just highlight all of this all the way to the top, and it's going to take a little bit because I mean there's a lot of chemicals for that the Careshet is authorized to have. And once again, we are just creating the index file, the index page for the Careshet chemicals, and I just copy that, and then here I got a Careshet, no, it's our Careshet right here. And really, literally, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna highlight this part over here, and I'm just gonna paste it right on top of it. I'm just gonna go to the bottom of the folder, and it's once again it's a really large folder, but I've done that already, so I'm not gonna bother to that. What I just want to make sure that is always done is that you highlight this part and do once again here in this page A through Z organization, and it's about to get to the top. There, they're to the top, starting from here, and I'm just gonna do A through Z. It's to ensure that whenever it goes to, so anyway, it's giving me a complaint because it's saying that this over here is oh wait, it's still working. I don't know what it's doing, but anyway, just to keep the video short, I'm just gonna stop over there. Everybody knows how to use the auto arrange feature, and here I just simply do a file and then print, well, a preview. And I actually don't print it on paper. I just simply save it as a PDF file when I hit print, and that this becomes the PDF file that I upload onto the website. So now I'll show you how to upload this file to the website. I'm back at the Excel file, and this time, okay, so I have reorganized everything alphabetically by the product name. Let's look at this 388 synthetic topping oil. So that's supposed to be SDS-331. So if I go to the website, and if I go to all chemicals, and if I look for that particular chemical 388, notice that here at the SDS files, that's exactly what the chemical is called. Well, I mean, this as far as the SDS-331 PDF. I go back over here, that's what it's supposed to be, and everything matches. And this name over here is the name that you see at the website. Just gonna go back over here. So what happens if we want to make changes? You know, we want to change the name, or well, really it's changing the name because the files we just we talked about that earlier. So, or in this case, we got so many chemicals over here, and we just want to literally just delete a few of them because why not? I mean, and we just want to delete those rows, and we don't want them to show up on the website. And then this motor oil, we just want to put a note on it, be careful, because mitochondria, so why not? So all of these changes, we can do them manually one by one at the website, but instead of doing that, we're just gonna make all of these changes all at once. And this is how we're gonna do it. First, we're gonna highlight. So we're gonna go to the top. We're gonna highlight the entire thing. First, so it's very important that this is organized alphabetically, because however this is organized, this is how it's gonna appear at the website. And then I'm just gonna go all the way to the bottom of the file, and I'm just gonna highlight all of those. So notice that I'm highlighting the first 4 fields. And it's taking a little while for me to get to the bottom, but here I am. So I'm gonna press Shift, and anyway, so I highlighted all that, and I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna create a new sheet. Well, actually, I did create that, so I'm just gonna create a whole blank one, and I'm gonna paste what I just copied. And what is paste? Oh, okay, here it is. Silly me. Paste options, and okay, so there they are. Now, at this point on, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna organize things a little bit so it looks prettier, and I'm gonna generate the code that is gonna appear on the website. So what I need to do is I need to put a special markers, and the special marker, it is this double money sign. So that that one I'm just gonna copy. I don't care about the number of the year, as you see over there, 2009, 2015. That is gonna be gone. That doesn't need to appear on the website, so therefore I'm just gonna recycle that column, and I'm gonna put the marker, as you're gonna see me do in a moment. So I'm waiting for it to get to the bottom of the page. Well, at the bottom of, so it's 400 items, almost 450, and we're almost there. Okay, so there they are. I'm gonna paste, and I'm just gonna go to the top, and I'm gonna include the first one too. Anyway, I'm just gonna copy this, and I'm gonna insert a column. So what I did is I just inserted a column, and I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna paste it here, and I'm gonna do the same at the end of it. So notice the format that I have, and this is very important. So how the file, associated file, is named, the name of the manufacturer, even though there is no manufacturer for this one, that's okay, and then the name of the product. And these are the markers. So this is to indicate that this is the end, and also the beginning of the manufacturer, and the end and the beginning of the product, and the end of the product. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of that. So real quick, I'm just going to show you something that you're going to have to do once, and then once you do this, you can forget about it, because it only requires to do one. So on the downloads, in my case, I had this JS code generator. So if you go here to the view, you got to make sure that it has a file extensions click, and that was again file extensions. And that is so that it shows me that it's a text file, and so I can change the extension of it to HTML. And what that makes it is that now I can open it with the browser, and there it's open on the browser. And I'm gonna go back to Excel, and this is all the content that I just created, and I'm just gonna right click, and I'm gonna copy that, and I'm gonna go into the in the browser, and here it says values. I'm just gonna paste what I just copied, and I'm gonna hit this button. What that does is just creates this HTML. So this thing over here that I'm showing you, it didn't exist in the moment. I'm just gonna go here. This is another copy. It's not, I haven't pasted anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and paste it because it's still on my clipboard. And I'm scrolling down, nothing happens, but as soon as I press this over here, it creates all of this code. This code is gonna go to the website, and it includes the changes that we have already made at the website. So if you notice, it has less chemicals because I deleted some of them, and then one of them is motor oil B, and then there is a lot more, but I cannot scroll to the right. So anyway, you're just gonna have to take my word for me. So right now, starting from this TR, I'm gonna highlight, and I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom, to the last TR, and I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight. I'm gonna copy this, and I'm gonna dump it into the website, and then once I refresh the website, all of the changes will be there. And that's why I said that most of the changes are done is through Excel. And then from Excel, we just simply do a little bit of formatting and then take it to the code generator, paste it over here, and this creates our code. I'm gonna go to the site now, and I'm gonna hit over here edit button. I'm gonna delete what is over there. So I'm editing a page, I'm editing this, but this time I'm gonna do a little bit different. I'm gonna go here to tools, view source code. I'm looking for this keyword over here, this T-body. After that T-body, I'm gonna highlight and I'm gonna delete that until when? Right before this T-body. See how it has that closing? I'm just gonna hit backspace and notice how here is a T-body without the forward slash, and then here is a T-body with a forward slash. I mean, that's the beginning and the closing. Anyway, I'm gonna paste what I have on the clipboard, which is from the Excel, and no, not Excel, the code generator, and I'm just gonna press OK. And at this point on, I'm just gonna preview, and we're almost done. This was the hardest part because it's a lot. It takes a little while for it to process. It's processing right now. And all the chemicals on the website were updated with these steps. If you want to edit a single chemical, that is easier. And I will do an example now, but I will not do it with a chemical. I will do it with an index page, and the process is the same. I will demonstrate now how to create a whole new index. So we're gonna add the category, as if you notice category is not here, so therefore we need to create an index. I already went ahead and put it here in Excel, and these irregularities, to fix it before we print, we just simply go to Format, Align Tool, and make sure that this is just a check mark, and that makes it all pretty. To make sure that I can fit more stuff, I just use font pen. Now at this point on, I'm gonna print, and instead of printing, I'm just gonna save it as a PDF file. So right there, print to PDF, and I'm just gonna name this document, and I'm gonna place it somewhere where I can easily get to it. So I got in this folder, and I'm gonna call it Cutter Shed. Actually, matter of fact, I got one over here, and I just save it, and there it is. Now I want to get rid of this. I want to go to the right place and drop that file where it needs to be. So it would be in Files, it would be in Documents, and it's Shops, because it is a shop. And I'm just going to delete this one over here because we don't want to use that one no more. We're going to update a whole new one, and at this point on, I'm just going to add a new file from File, and I'm just going to drop it over here. To do that, so I said that it was Cutter Shed, so right here, just gonna drop it, and that's this. At this point on, preview, submit, and it is there. If you see Documents, Shops, and Cutter Shed, so it's at the right place. So now the final step is to link. So we're gonna go to my index, I'm going to edit the index. Now I'm gonna stop somewhere over here, and then you see how you get this extra menu over here at the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna insert another column. This is columns and these are rows. So that's properties, delete table. This is the table. Obviously I'm not gonna delete the table. It says insert row before, insert row after. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna insert one over here. I already created, and here I'm gonna put Cutter Shed, and here I'm gonna call it locker, And cottage shed is a very small building, so I'm just gonna call it main area. And at this point on, there's one thing. Okay, so shop locker index file or index document. Just gonna call that that. All right, so at this point on, I want when people click on this to show them the link, show them the index document. So I'm just gonna highlight this, and notice over here, this symbol over here, it says insert edit link. So here, I'm gonna choose a file, and that file, and here I'm gonna have to navigate to all the different, and if you notice, has options for some of the most recent files. But if you don't see anything, worst case scenario, you can just browse, and ours is in files, documents, shops, and cottage shed right here. This is the file that I'm linking, and I choose, and I hit OK. Now I just gotta press preview, and this is for me to see it. It's not posted on the website. I click, and it's working already. So we just added a whole new shop. Well, it was a duplicate shop because it turns out cottage shed was there already. Now, the only thing I don't like is that for some reason they just made it bigger than the other one, so it doesn't look aesthetically. So I'm just gonna try to see if I can fix that. See what the problem is. I don't know. I'm just gonna highlight. Nope. Take that out. Delete. Paste it again. And at this point on, I don't think the link is working. So I'm just gonna do the steps again. Oh, I thought it was, I think it's already linked. Okay, preview. Okay, it looks good. So now I'm just gonna hit submit once again. And the last thing that I have to do is to publish. And there is publish. Now it's very important that you use a different browser or a different account, or go in incognito mode if you're using the same browser. But in here I'm using Edge, and I'm gonna visit the site. So USNA Hazmat, and yeah. So at this point on, this is a different browser. So whatever I get to see here is what every user that visits the site is seeing, and that's how you test it. So that's how that's how simple you can just go ahead and edit and delete. So at this point on, I'm gonna delete this other one over here because, well, we don't need two links to two entries of the same thing. So I'm just gonna highlight this, and at this point on, not delete table. Gotta be careful with that. But it's delete row, delete column, and delete row. Okay, this is what we want because this is a row. If I were to delete column, I would delete this whole thing. And delete row, and it is gone. Once again, preview, and submit. We're gonna have to submit again. After that, I'm gonna have to publish it, and the job is done.